Yeah, I do well, wouldn't it? Yeah, pretty instant response there. He, one of the farm chickens decided to follow us out, which almost ended in disaster for the chicken anyway. But looks like Alan might be here. He's come in. He's definitely ready to go. Free tomorrow, eh?
Yeah.
Before you tangle that clearance line up anymore. Whenever you're using a clearance line, it's a good idea to sort of walk around in loops when you're going to and from the training perch, instead of just walking the line over the top of itself constantly. If you walk in nice circles, you're not going to get all tangled up with it around your legs. That's pretty instant, isn't it, Tommy?
Yeah.
Is that his lot, is it?
Got one more if he wants it.
So, the clearance line, it's not so much a case of how far they'll come on a clearance line. 30 yards is more than enough to train on the clearance line. What you're looking for is a response like that. Instant response. That bird come in before you can even get to the end of where you want to get to. That's when you know that bird's ready. Yeah. So they're saying the response is instant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about how far you can go or how many you can do. What you're looking for is the behaviour, the instant reaction for recall. So what you got there, a lure is it? Just a
Got a lure in my pocket just in case.
Just in case. Thermal, spotter, lamp,
Khakis.
telemetry, very important. You can't do any of it without the following. Big Alan. What have we got on there?
Reflective flying just as on.
Reflective.
He's also tangled himself right up, so. What are you doing there, boy?
A little dance in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's grumpy, he wants to go out.
So what weight was he this evening?
111.5 this evening.
£1, 11 and a half. Imprinted male Harris's hawk. First hunting session of the season.
Yeah.
And obviously supporting the false falconry lucky hat.
You have to, don't you?
You can't catch stuff without them. Almost as important as your lamp. Right, let's go find some bunnies. So we're using the Olight Javelot Pro. Really handy, lightweight, compact lamp. It's got incredible power. That's not different settings. Super powerful lamp. And then we're using a Pulsar Axion. What is that?
1500 or something like that.
It was 1500 quid.
No, I think it is the. I can't remember.
Just a Pulsar Axion. Specific one we can't remember. So we use that for spotting with. To just be more stealthy in the dark. And then once we've found a perfect slip or a rabbit that's in a perfect position for a slip, we'll then light it up with the lamp and slip the hawk that way. Instead of the old-fashioned way of scanning around with a lamp. The rabbits soon become lamp shy. If they're already lamp shy, they see you having a look with the lamp scanning at the other end of the field or the estate with this lamp and hop back down their holes. So the thermal just gives you the ability to be more stealthy and get up to things. Third slip. Third slip. Nice long slip as well.
It is dead, I've dispatched it.
Just going to get him out of the bushes. Obviously we've forgotten the head torch. Third slip from the same field. Much longer slip. The rabbit, instead of running the 20 yards to the hedge, ran what, another 30-40 yards to the other hedge, and
Oh, it's a long way, I know that much.
detached it. So first hunting session of the season, he's taken a rabbit on his third slip. It was a nice slip as well. It was a good flight, considering he's got had no fitness work done prior.
You keep that light on, don't you?
Yeah. First day out for Zara. 2 pound 5 on the dot. Coming well on the previous line this morning, a couple of times. Pretty eager for food, so I thought we'll head out before it gets too warm. See if we can find a couple of warrens on some old ground of Dad's, which I've now acquired. Last season we did a little bit of lamping on here, but there was a lot of poaching on here from certain members of a certain community. So very, very lamp shy. But we had a little flick around with the thermal last week, or earlier this week, and see a lot of rabbits on here. I think there's a warren here, so we're going to try and bowl a couple for Zara, see how she reacts, but she's pretty switched on already. Just have a look. A nice fresh poo. Put the ferret in. Trying to be inconspicuous. Oh, yeah, what? And another one's bolted. She really got in her way then. That's a real shame. So, first day out, hunting with Zara. It was alright, only because I've come back to the van with my hawk and my ferret. I'd say the performance was better earlier on. I think that was a combination of two things. Firstly, she had an empty tummy, and as the day progressed, she obviously had several tidbits inside of her. And then it's got really warm. I think it was going to get about 17 degrees Celsius this afternoon. By the time we got out, it was 14. So I think she's a little bit overweight as well. A lot of factors. A couple of the rabbits that I really thought she was going to catch, they actually, I hope it will come back on the footage, were zigzagging in front of her because they were trying to run around the sheep. And I think that just really put her off. Not only the rabbit really jinking and turning tightly, but it was you know, it would also mean having to catch that rabbit in amongst a lot of sheep. I carried on for one last warren, and I bolted 3 rabbits from a warren that were probably, the hole was probably 20 to 30 yards out into the field. The first 2 bolted together, with one heading right across the open field, and I thought she'd caught that one. She hadn't, she'd missed it, and then after that she just proceeded to not want to come back to the fist, made it back to the fence, and took her frustration out on the transmitter. I don't know if that got in the way of her footing or something, but that's the impression she gave me. And I got it back on the fist, and another rabbit bolted, and this ran in a straight line downwind across probably 100 yards of grass field. She was so busy pulling at a transmitter, she's leg mounted today, that she didn't even see the rabbit. So I've just called it a day. She's had a massive tantrum on the walk back. I don't think she wants to stop, but at this rate she's going to be self-aware. Time to call it a day. She's had her opportunities. Some of probably the easiest rabbits I could have bolted for her. So a little bit more refinement before we get out next. I think hopefully the colder weather's going to get colder, and a little bit of weight management. I'm not one for saying, oh yeah, just take an ounce off, but I do think that maybe half an ounce or a quarter of an ounce will really give her that edge to work with me. But good responses on the rabbit. She's got a high prey drive, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Straight after coming home, offered her a fresh bath of water. Remember, she hasn't had a lot of food today, just a tidbit. She's still got a bit of weight to lose. And I mean that I've literally just put water in that, and it's really important for welfare and performance of your hawk to have access to fresh, clean water, especially after being out flying. You see, she's bowsing there, not having a bath, but hydrating herself. Really important.
So Zeus is having some new kit fitted. About time really. So this is the usual setup. Braided jesses, braided extender, inline Sampo swivel. Yes, it is for a golden eagle. You don't need an anchor for your golden eagle. And these genuine Sampos, the only place in the UK that I know that's producing genuine Sampo swivels is Falconry Shop, Scotland. I think all the others are copies. There's certainly a lot of cheap Chinese copies around. But a genuine Sampo swivel, brilliant bit of kit, and then it all runs lovely together. And of course a loop leash that's braided as well. These are from Andy Smith, and Zoe Jones is another go-to person in the UK for braided kit for sure. If you're not using braided kit yet and you've never used it and you poo-poo it because you like traditional leather, that's fine if that's what you prefer. But of course, traditionally we didn't use a lot of the kit we use today, such as telemetry and so on and so forth. So that's not really an excuse. If you've never tried it, honestly, brilliant setup. And a loop leash, inline swivel, extender. Saves your bird's tail if it's got a goshawk massively, and this setup here is as anti-tangle as you're probably going to get. Love the braided kit, whether it's a tiny thing or a golden eagle. So, new kit on. It really does deserve some new kit. It's not had any for ages. New kit on, ready to go. Absolutely razor sharp talons, which even when you scale up to a golden eagle, if they're not razor sharp, prey is just as slippery as it is for a smaller hawk indeed. £9 2 ounces. A good half a pound over his sort of proper flying weight, but it's a weight he'll start working for, and now he's going to start working on the rope line. And golden eagles work for the same size betchings that a Harrisdale could work for. It's amazing. He'll work for that, and we'll get him moving. And once we get him moving, that £0.5 pound will come off him really, really quickly. There's still people that think, oh, well, if I just don't feed my eagle, it'll lose weight. That's the slow way, because if an eagle's not being fed, it's like a fat person that goes on a starvation diet. It doesn't work. You need movement. If you stop feeding these, you just shut down their metabolism and they really hang on to the calories. It's just a case of dieting them down to a weight that they'll start working, get them on a rope line, get those wings moving. You're interested in that retraining, getting the bird to come to the glove, and he's going to muscle up and lose weight down to his proper hunting weight. So watch this space, well behind the boys, and by the time I get him going in a couple of weeks, work's going to force me to have 2 weeks off. Unfortunately, a lot of work in a couple of weeks, but then the season should start for me too. Check out the next episode. Thanks for watching. Biggest thing you can do right now, please hit subscribe. We're nearly at that 1,000 mark for this baby channel, and then YouTube start really sharing it for us, and that'll give me that more motivation. So thanks a lot for watching this one. Check out the next one.